Yeah, good morning, everyone. And I appreciate the answer by Adija. But you see, first and foremost, Islam is never from the Arab world. Brother Daz, there is noise from your end. But okay, I'm good. Let me. That's why I don't want to use video because yeah. Now, what really happened is that Islam is not from the Arabs at all.
We know that.
Islam has been in existence from the time of Noah. Because in Quran chapter 42, verse 13,
Oh God.
Quran 42, 13, Allah said, I have ordained unto you Noah. Quran 42, verse 13. Allah said it was I who has ordained the religion, ordained on Noah. And the same thing has been sent to you, O Muhammad. The same Islam, the same religion that was ordained on Abraham,
Join us.
Moses.
We are listening to, I'm on live with Chikakaty right now. And we are dissecting religions of Islam, Christianity, and African spirituality. So
is it from the word? I don't know religion now. The word Islam is an Arab word. The word ISLAM is Arabic word. But in all the prophets of God, they don't call it Islam because it's not their language. It's not their language. I don't want you to me have the misconception. Yeah. Muhammad is not the originator of Islam. It's not. Islam is the religion of all prophets of God. In their languages, they have what they call it. When Moses was alive, okay, that's why the reason, even when Muhammad was alive, until 63 years of age, the year was about to leave the world. That was when the name Islam comes in to him as well. Because in Quran chapter 5 verse 3, Allah said, Al-Yawman akmamtu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum Islamuddin. Allah said, today I have perfected for you your religion and I have accepted Islam as a religion. So when he was practicing that religion for good 23 good years, he never knew his name. Islam is total submission to the will of Allah. Exactly. When the word Islam came was the last year when he was about to leave the world. So Noah has never known the name of the religion he was practicing. Abraham was never known the religion he was practicing. Likewise, Jesus or Yeshua, Moses. It was when one was about to leave the world that the name came to existence. Okay. So, but people misconstrue one thing that no. Because it's Arab, and so Islam is from. No, it's not from the Arabs. Islam is religion of every prophet of God. I would like
to before we go too far, I needed to complete the questions I was asked before, if you don't mind, because I think we're going slightly off now, and I wanted to just bring everything back because you asked me some questions. Can I answer them or not? Okay, I hear what you're saying in terms of the religion, and I'm not here to question anybody's religion, but I'm here to put the case forward for our African spirituality. We need to respect, you see, when you respect your African spirituality, you are respecting something that is part of you, something that is in your soul as an African. That is what I'm saying. And for too long, we have allowed our African spirituality to be dragged on the floor, and by so doing, we are psychologically allowing ourselves to be dragged on the floor. Now, let's go back to the point I was making in terms of this, the common thread of always saying we sold ourselves. Now, after the Arabs came and then they started selling us, and they got us to be capturing ourselves and selling ourselves. The Europeans came and did that. They continue to do that. And I need you to understand, it got worse. Because in 1884, the Europeans sat in the Berlin Conference, headed by Otto von Bismarck, and they put the map of Africa on the wall in Berlin Conference, and they started carving up Africa among themselves because they were fighting each other. They had already been fighting each other. They were fighting and fighting and fighting. So they said, you know what? We don't want to fight. Let us carve the whole place up. So they called 14 European countries, including the US, sat in a meeting, and they started carving up Africa. Now, in the middle of that carving up, they made sure that our kings, by the time when they were going to start carving up, none of the African kings were present. Hear me well. None of the African kings were present. Zero. Now, when they did that, at the time as they were about to start that meeting, they got all the African kings to sign treaties. Treaties that they did not understand. African kings were forced to sign treaties that they were only going to be dealing directly with whoever was assigned, was given that section of Africa. Keep in mind, slave trade was still going on. Now it got worse. Effectively, Africans became slaves in an open camp. Listen. No, you can't cut me short. Let me finish. Yeah, listen, can I, hold on. Sorry, what did you say? Sorry?
Is there any country being colonized by the Arabs?
That is not what I'm saying. I am saying there's slavery.
That's what you are saying.
No. I did not say they colonized us. I said, I'm answering a question. I said that Islam enslaved Africans. And I now said that on top of that, colonials enslaved, and then hold on. No. Hang on. My brother, listen. There was, before colonialism, there was slavery. That is what, and that's a chronology of it. Before
slavery between the African and the Arabs?
Yeah, the Arabs sold Africans as slaves, and they castrated the men. That's a fact.
Where is the record?
What do you mean? Look, there is record in Turkey. Look, I will listen. There are pictures. So
if you don't talk about university here, because the university, nothing is written there. What is the
right
truth?
now, please, listen. I can give you, my brother. Stop. Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk, please? I am saying to you, there is a lot of evidence. I can show you on my timeline where Arabs sold Africans. There are pictures. There are actually pictures of this. So don't dispute that. We're not going to, it's happened. It's a fact. Now let's move on. Now no, please, let me just, I need to finish this thing quickly, please. I want to do this in 2-3 minutes.
What he's saying is very true. What the man is saying is very true. You know, let us forget about universities and
oh man.
And school books are full of lies. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
But what the man is saying is very true. Arabs did colonize Africans. Arabs did enslave us. Arabs did enslave Africans. You know?
So, now, okay, thank you very much, Hajia, for that interjection, and I appreciate that. Now, going on. Now, here is where we need to pay attention. Between the time of slavery and colonialism, that gap is where I was telling you, they made our African kings sign treaties. If you did not sign treaty, you couldn't trade. You couldn't do anything. And they forced every community to be, like Hadika said, they came with guns. So all our kings had no choice but to adhere to them. Now, in that context, that was when Africa became an open slave camp, like an open prison. So whatever you did in that prison, you did, hang on, let me finish. Please let me finish. No, I am not misinforming. You need to understand. I have never. They didn't colonize, please. Oh. No, I have never said Arabs colonized though. I have never said that. I've never said that. And I'm Hadija, did you hear me say that they colonized? Hadija, did you hear me say they colonized? No. I am starting, guys. No, listen, please. Please.
African spirituality has mixed with religion.
That's correct.
Without them knowing it, like from example now, let me repeat. When I was growing up from the Naba, there is this white garment set. Go to the river, dance. At the middle of the night, spirit will come from the water, bless them. They are rich, they are doing well, and now they are all under in the name of Jesus. That's my topic today.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
To come and help me on it. Because we need the spirituality that we already have spirituality in Christianity. There are many. All of them, when they finish, they say in the name of Jesus. Like some of the native doctors say that some of them are coming to their shrine to collect power. So if the African spirituality has so much power, why are you using it? They're using it in the name of Jesus to treat our people.
Exactly.
So,
okay, so please, thank you for, okay.
Before you answer your question, I want to ask this one so that you can go ahead. This Ustaz, am I permitted to ask you a question? Okay, no problem.
Well,
all right, I want to go back to what Madam Adi just said. I don't know if you...
I haven't quite finished. Let me, my brother.
I want to have a clarification on what Adi just said.
Yeah, but listen, hold on.
Citizen AY.
Yes.
Just watch your time. Just take 3 minutes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So now, quick. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, what I'm basically saying is this: from the time of that slavery colonization gap, the treaty was in there. Now, people that were when you say that we sold ourselves, we were selling ourselves in an open slave camp, and it is about survival. And the conditions that we were put in led to us selling ourselves. Let us stop blaming ourselves for the condition that the colonials put us in, where we sold ourselves. So when you start doing that narrative, you are actually putting forward their false narrative. You are not recognizing the fact that every part of Africa was carved up on a map. And those areas you are living in, you are in an open prison where you are set. You had to do everything you can to survive. It's like a kind of sardines or crabs in a barrel. So when they put you in a barrel, you will be fighting on top of each other to survive, to come out. So we cannot blame ourselves for those situations, and don't allow that propaganda to keep going on in your brain. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Please, Emma, can I just take a minute? If I may add to it, we are still in slavery.
Thank you.
We are still in slavery.
Thank you.
We don't destroy all universities, all schools.
Thank you.
Start up from the beginning. We are still being enslaved.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Completely move away from what Mr. Citizen just said, right? It might cause some kind of, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, everything that he just said might just be what he just said. Nobody will even remember them. I think since he has already made his complete submission, this might just be the right time for 1 or 2 people to actually ask him critical questions on this submission that he just made.
Please do.
So can I just ask him 1 or 2 things, right? So that it's wisdom. It will be wisdom.
Okay, wisdom. Okay, take 1 minute and ask it.
Okay, so Mr. Citizen, right? From everything that you just said, I think you agree with everybody that made the claim that Africans sold themselves, right? And from what you just said, I think you're just trying to justify why. Now, this is the part where I have issue, right? And I need you to clarify.
Okay.
Say, for instance, because you made a comment that, yes, these guys, at some point you said something that African kings were not there, but then at a point you said something else that African kings signed this treaty.
They were forced to sign it. They were forced to sign treaties with ships at the harbor.
You said,
yes,
I quote, they do not have any idea what they were signing.
Exactly.
Right. Now my question comes, if the reason they started fighting for survival happens to be maybe to comply with the treaty that they signed, how did they not know what they signed, but then ended up knowing what they signed to fight for survival?
Okay. Listen. The simple question is this. The treaties that our kings were signed, remember, many of them couldn't write. They used thumb to put on there. And that's what many of them did. So they didn't even understand what they were told to sign. And in many cases, what they said that they were supposed not to do was changed, because the people who forced them to sign those treaties knew what they wanted to achieve. They told the kings, please, also let me add this. Many of our kings became vassal kings. Do you know what is a vassal king? Slave king. All of them, the minute they signed those treaties. That is what you need to realize. Once you're a vassal king, it means that you're a slave. That you are a king to slaves. That is under your control, under the control of the colonials. And that is what happened in most cases. And if you did not sign, you were taken out. Jaja of Okobo was an example. He refused to sign. They took him out of the place. That's an example. Jaja of Okobo. Go and look at what I'm saying. Benin King, 1897. Benin of Obaren, he was taken out.
I don't want this to go out of where I'm taking it, because that is the reason why people like Otas, Germany is not connecting to what we are saying. Talking about the slavery, we are talking about why our people not depending on their own spirituality. Why are they covering their spirituality up
Yes.
with their religion? Okay, let me hear from Melanated, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Auntie Katy.
We'll go back to let's go back to the main topic. Yeah, we can, but go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Well, I have listened to some of you here, citizens in AY. Thank you for all you are doing. I have heard you.
Thank you.
And I'm very happy to listen to someone like you and even other ones who have spoken here. But I still really disagree with the fact that African leaders willingly sold slaves. But let's hold that on abeyance.
Yeah.
And you see, the question is that why are we not practicing our spirituality?
Mm-hmm.
We should understand the concept of colonization.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you talked about vassalization. Yes, I agree that between the time of slavery and colonization, it was vassalization, because that was the time most of this African region were protectorates of either Britain, France,
Germany,
Belgium, and all that. Yeah. So now, but when colonization came with cultural alteration, traditional alteration, traditional values disappearing, eroding of cultures, languages, and all that.
yes.
So they came and told us that their religion is superior to ours because ours was fetish and barbaric.
Absolutely.
They made us believe that unless we accept the one true God, which is so loving and all that, then we will not make heaven. You see, the fact that they made us believe in heaven, in the concept of heaven, we as Africans, we never had this concept of heaven. Most of us believed in reincarnation, that when you die, you come back again one way or the other. Most African tradition has that. But it was the Western, because Christianity and Islam, all religion came with colonization. So they brought this concept of heaven, that look, there is a place you go after here, and that place is more important to whatever you have here. So you should work more for that. than whatever you have to do here. So the moment we believed that there is a place where we have to go to either enjoy or suffer, so we started to think towards that. And how do we get there? We have to believe in one true God. And we have to believe in some savior or some messiah that will take us to that. So that is how we were able to abandon ours. They told us, look, you do people, you unalive people, you sacrifice people, you do this, you do that, right? And we believe this banner narrative. And we abandon.
In terms of Christianity, they never abandoned anything. They look at the way they worship. It's still with them. They never abandoned anything. What they are practicing now is African spirituality. But at the end of it, they put it under Jesus Christ. They are not practicing Christianity.
Well, you see, the thing first is the concept. It's not the process, it's the concept. Now, if we even talk about Christianity, look at most of the things in Christianity today, the Easter, the Christmas, all those things.
Yep.
These were old Roman, what they call it, traditional.
Pagan tradition.
Worshipping and beliefs.
Yeah.
So, but they incorporated this into Christianity to fit the narrative so that it would be easier for the Romans to accept and practice it.
Yep.
So they brought all those things into Christianity. So the same way.
Wasn't the Romans that brought it into them? It was Africans. When you see the way the Africans worship.
No, I'm talking about, for example, Christmas, Easter, Valentine, and all that. You understand? So this event, Jesus was not born on the 25th of December, for Christ's sake. There was nothing like Easter. Jesus Christ rose on the calendar. You understand? Look at the Muslim, for example. When the Muslim do Ramadan, they look at the moon. They count the moon. It could be April this year. It could be March next year. They use the moon. And that is how we also counted back in the day. We used the moon. A month in my language means moon.
Yes.
But it is only in Christianity, you see, it is the same time. On Friday, it must be Friday, and Jesus must rise on Sunday. All every year. But Christmas can be any other day. But Easter is always on the same day. So that what I'm trying to say is that they incorporated all these things. They incorporated them in Christianity. So it was easy for them. When you go to Ethiopia, the Christianity there is still different. Of course, they are Orthodox, but it's still different. The Ethiopian Orthodox is still different from the Russian Orthodox. You understand? So one way or the other, you can still feel that the culture, the tradition of these people is still embedded in the Christianity. So that is why you see here, we go to all those white garment church that you see pastors still going to native doctors and all that. Because
Melanate, are you telling us to go back to traditional? Because I don't get your point. You talked about Muslim, talked about Christian. So what's your point? Can we go back to tradition? Is that what you are preaching?
What do you mean by tradition? What do you mean by tradition?
So where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Christians and slaves, Muslims and slaves, they talked about moon. Okay, what is your point? We want to abide now. What? Tell us.
You are a prophet. There is no word prophet in my language. We don't have prophet in my language, so there is no word. So which means that whatever you call yourself, for example, this, yes. You see, the word prophet is.
Tell us where you belong to.
You see, bro, what you are doing is what we call a straw man argument. You understand?
Whatever you call it. I know.
Let him talk, bro. Let him talk. You can have your space, please.
Don't try to influence me. Let me talk. You understand? Yeah. So you don't ask me just on before I go back to work. So can I just make a short contribution before I go back to my work, please? Yes, please, can I make a short contribution before I go back to my work, please? Okay, please, you see, the narrative, the narrative that we've been listening to is that when you listen to everybody who have been speaking, I want to come up from a different perspective. That when you go back in history, Africa were weak, uneducated, and the Europeans were strong, and
Okay.
With the recent technology that we have, you cannot produce what we produce as at that time.
Yep.
So what I want us to understand here is that before the Europeans or anybody came to colonize Africa, we are already established. We have a system of doing things. We have our medicine established. We have our technologies. We are mining. We are mining iron ore before the European came.
Yep.
We are producing our instrument before the European came. But something happened. Something happened. And what happened? When they came, they discovered that we were more religious people. You understand? And the best way to penetrate us was to use religion to penetrate us. I disagree with Citizen. They introduced slavery to us. No. He could, let me remind Mr. Citizen, if you understand his Yoruba culture very well, that as at that time, clans were fighting clans. The Oyo empires have soldiers, well-established soldiers, who move from regions to region fighting.
Sorry, I didn't say they introduced slavery to us.
Empires that we have, I'm calling Mr. Citizen, the Oyo empires that we have today, that was expanded as a kingdom, as at that time were as a result of war. And they were claiming lands, and anywhere they conquer, they enslave people. So slavery were already happening in Africa before the white man came. So we need to have that record right. We were already fighting ourselves.
I said so. My brother, I said so. I did say so. I did say so though.
At the same time, I'm coming. So at the same time, when the white man came, he saw this opportunity that we Africans, we do not like ourselves. We are more of clan than unity. We are more of clan than unity. The Igbo clan, the Ijo clan, the Hausa clan, so that was how we were. You understand? So when the white man came and saw this opportunity, what did he do? He encourages us to do more, so that there will be more people for slavery. So the narrative that we are doing evil to ourselves before the white man came, I won't accept that. And Mr. Citizen telling us to go back to our African culture. See, we are still Africans. We speak our mother tongue. We dress like Africans. So what I want to propose now is this: the white man is in one way or the other influencing the way we think. Now, since the past 100 years, what have we Africans developed to help the world? For the past 100 years, now we are the one ruling ourselves. We are the president, we are the senate, we are everything to ourselves. What have we done technologically to help Africa? You understand? What have we done? What have we done for the past 100 years?
Excuse me, my brother, please. Let me address you on that, please. These people have not lived you yet, so that you cannot understand each other now. They are still on your neck. You Africa cannot understand each other to bring something out for yourself. That's the problem.
Yep.
That is the narrative they make you see. Quite all right. You will understand that it is very, very difficult as an Africa for we to be united in producing one thing. But these guys are always united in fronting their desires all over the world. The Europeans, they are very, very united. What stopped Ghana? What stops Nigeria from moving to Ghana freely?
The Europeans are not united. That was why they even had the Berlin Conference in the first place.
Yep.
They are united in purpose in achieving one thing. And what is that? To keep making Africa a resources ground for them.
I disagree with that if we look at it in a very deeper context. You see, the thing is that I heard you saying that Africans, we can't deny the fact that we are not doing harm to each other before these people. Of course, it is not indigenous to Africa. When we go back in history, you see, this has been happening for thousands and thousands of years all around the world. If we go into the abhorrent things that the Europeans did, if we go into their abhorrent things, because I think when we look at Europe today, we look at it in a modern context, like we look at France and all that. But let's go deeper. Let's talk about the Lusitanians. Let's talk about the Asenai. Let's talk about the Karuchis. Let's talk about all these people. How did they live? Who were they? What was their tradition? Did they use sacrifices? Did they unalive humans? Of course they did. The Romelos. Let's go deep
is not indigenous to Africa. We can go to ancient civilizations like Kemet, Mesopotamia. We can go to all those places. We see that they have been historical records that all these things happened, right? But I asked someone the other day, can you tell me one historical record or one place if your forefather, your great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather told you where he saw somebody did this in Africa? Of course we were told, but can you
doing what? Fighting each other? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, tell me one fight. Tell me one fight. Tell me one.
Okay, exactly. Now, ask citizen. Wait. I'm from the Igala Kingdom. I'm from the Igala Kingdom. Now, wait. I'm telling you my history now. Do you know the fight between the Igala Kingdom and the Jukun Kingdom? Are you aware of that fight?
Okay, I will ask you, brother.
No. Wait. Are you aware of the fight between the Jukun Kingdom and the Igala Kingdom? Are you aware of that fight?
Yes, I'm aware.
So what was the influence of the white man on that fight?
You see, so that is the problem. Now, the problem is that you take into context.
Are you aware of the Igala fight between the Igalas and the Benin Kingdom?
Is he aware of Egban Ijebu fight?
Now, you are asking me, but you are not letting me to answer. You see, so that is the problem. You see, I told you that I'm aware of this, but this is not indigenous to Africa. This is not indigenous to Africa.
Yep.
A lot of tribes.
So when you say it's not indigenous to wait. When you say it's not indigenous to Africa, can you tell us in a layman language? Are you saying it was new to Africa? Are you saying it was new to Africa?
It's not indigenous to Africa, which means that this did not happen only.
You people have really taken this out of that we already have African spirituality. They are using the religion
To cover it.
just like
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to correct a narrative that you see tribal wars, tribal fight is not indigenous to Africa, which means that it is not only in Africa this thing happened. It happened everywhere.
Yes.
So you now demonizing your own tribe.
That's
because
correct.
It didn't happen just in Africa. It happened everywhere. So why would I say
What's in abroad too, it happen like that everywhere in the world.
exactly?
One question. If the African spirituality, if they can just stop using Christianity to cover it, that would be nice. Because if their God can raise the blind, heal the sick, and they are collecting their power from African spirituality, why don't they just stick to that and nobody will be talking about it?
And
You guys are
let me tell you something.
Madam Chika, so there is nothing like African spirituality in Islam. Is that what you are saying? Because you kept on mentioning Christian.
Exactly,
that was actually the point I was.
Let me say something.
I will allow you to respond to this. Let me respond to Prophet Lawal. He said, I said, this African spirituality, sometimes you see them being made in Islam as Muslims, and they will come online and show us videos, and the Muslims will shout it out. No, this is not Islam. But in Christianity, nobody is saying this is not Christianity.
To an extent now, it is Madam Chika. Please, I want to ask you, that's my last question and you drop me. Please, can you permit me that?
Okay, answer that.
Okay, Ustaz, I greet you, sir. You're welcome. Before the other lady was cut off, she was saying something about the language, and I want to totally disagree with that. Arab, she said Arab are different from Islam. Now, the language and Arab, if a book or some people's book, let me say Islamic book, can say in Surah Al-Anam 16, that is 103, that it is only through that language that the book was written. Then why is she denying that Arab is different from Islam? Why did she say so, Ustaz? Why?
Arab, there's a difference between Arabic and Arab.
Okay, that's Arabic, that's what I meant, yes.
The tribe.
Okay.
Arabic
When people tend to think of
the culture of the Arabs is not the same thing as the culture of the Quran. So that's why we're trying to differentiate between Arab and Islam.
Okay, Arabic is spoken by who?
By Muhammad.
By who? What tribe? Which people?
By the Arabs.
Oh, so I don't get that, Ustaz.
Their culture is different from the culture of Islam.
Anyway, I don't want to argue further. Madam Chika, please drop me. Ustaz, thank you.
No, let me tell you one thing. Okay. You see, the Arab culture, okay. That's in the Quran, that said the Arabs are more in paganism before the advent of Muhammad.
Why I don't get you, sir? Do you know why I don't get you? It's because
No, I can explain that, Prophet. You see, the thing is that the thing is that when we talk about Arab, let's even talk about the concept of Arab. When did this Arab identity even come into play in the first place? What is the identity of Arab? You understand? So we know that the Prophet, he was courage, right? He was courage from Mecca. You know, so that was his place, that was his culture, his tradition, his ancestral place. But he moved from there to Mecca. And don't forget that he fought people from Mecca. He moved from Mecca to Medina.
now, melanated, if I get you well.
Wait, brother. What I'm saying is that he didn't fight anybody.
Hmm.
He did.
He didn't. What happened is, you knew the story now. He was fought by them, by the Arab, to shut him down of his messages. He now left for them to Medina. The Arabs in Mecca now went ahead to attack him in Medina. That was where Allah commanded him to defend himself. All the wars being fought by Muhammad was a defensive war, not aggressive war or offensive war. You know the story. Why are you saying it?
Okay. Oh my God.
Ustaz,
Okay.
I think melanated is stylishly getting to what I'm supposed to know, but you could not allow him to finish. Now, I cannot separate Ustaz from his word. Can I? I can't separate Ustaz from his word. Now, when you get to Nigeria, there is a major language. Now, you want to tell me the language is corrupt, or the nation is corrupt, then we can make use of the language. Arab, some part of Arab, then it is the same, hello sir, the same Arabic that Allah asked us that the Quran is written, the same Arabic. I don't know, I don't get it. Arabic was written, and Allah commanded it, that it was written in the same Arabic language. And you are not castigating Arabic, Arab people. I don't know.
I think you are not getting my point. I said, okay, for example, now, I'm a Yoruba man, right? Yoruba has his own culture. I might not abide with the culture of the Yorubas now. For now, Yoruba believe in Agbada.
Okay. Guys.
Ultimately, Allah make that culture a typical language for the religion.
You
might not be Yoruba.
You know.
No.
Okay, Suratul Anal 103. Can you read that, please? I'm not also with the Quran here. But why would that passage make that language?
Pastor Noah, I want to ask you one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know that Arabs were worshiping idol before the prophet? It was the prophet that gave apologies for them.
Is that Islam?
Sorry, if you make that point, the Arabs were worshipping idol before Prophet Muhammad came and abolished it for them. Actually, technically, you're trying to prove Prophet Lawa's point. Because if Prophet Muhammad abolished idol worshipping in Arab, that technically means that
they were worshipping idol.
Yes, true. But that technically means that if he abolished the idols from there, that technically means he introduced Islam to them.
Mr. Obi, thank you.
Which is exactly the argument that Prophet Lawal is making.
Yeah, he introduced Islam to the whole world.
That is exactly the point that Prophet Lawal has been trying to make since, that this Islam of the day originated from the time of Iran.
Mr. Obi, if Arab is
Hold on.
different from
Guys.
Islam, why will Allah make Arabic
Wait.
language the source
I hope you find this interesting. I hope you find this interesting. We're trying to discuss about issues of talking about African spirituality. In my opinion, I believe that African spirituality must be given a proper prominence among Africans. That's what I'm trying to say here. And they are still insistent on following just on African continent Islam and Christianity, which is not our own first, you know, first way of doing things. African spirituality is our way that we must embrace and enjoy. We are drifting now. We are drifting now. Let us. We are drifting. Hold on. Okay, I think Katy, mute everybody. Let's ask Katy, mute everybody and then rephrase it. Katy, mute everybody. Oh my! What did I just hear? We can't worship. We can't. Wow. Do bear with us. There's a argument back and forth going on.
See, the problem is that Mr. Oster, you always try to find the way, like why you're trying to reconcile.
We probably do not 5-10 minutes on this. Then I'll make a comment and go. Guys. Hello.
Honestly, we are really trying to complicate. Mr. Oster, you are really trying to complicate a lot of things when you're trying to differentiate tribe from their language. Yes. Because if you understand.
Now, as a Yoruba man, even let me ask you a question. Is it possible for the Yorubas? I'm coming home. Okay, the Englishman that came from Australia, for example, the Oshu woman that came from Australia that died before the new one now. Can you worship Oshu in his own language?
Okay, Mr. Oster, let me ask you, Mr. Oster. Now,
he can't. Of course, he can't. He can't. Yeah.
This worship thing is not. It's just for unification.
That's it.
I don't think the other people made it because that if you worship God in your language, God will not answer. In Islam, I understand that salat is for unification. You go to China, they are worshiping the same way. You go to Mexico, all over the world. Take that for unification.
Okay.
Surah Al-Fatiha, you cannot recite it in Yoruba, they will accept it. They will tell you it's not accepted. That is my point.
If you are in public, Mr. Lawal, if you are in public, it's not accepted because
that is so.
Hold on, Prophet.
You see, let me make one point, please.
Hold on, let me say something. If they allow, if even Islam allow it the way Christian has allowed it, they will have been spreading like you guys are spreading. You understand?
Okay.
Can we?
That's not even the point. That's what
Can I speak? This is a language
Mrs. Chika is saying
this is a language
what Madam is saying is true. If what Mrs. Chika is saying is true, that's what that falls under the pure category of Arabization.
It's a lie.
If what Miss exactly now, because that's what it technically means.
Please, I want to learn something. Is there anywhere in the Quran that God said we should read Allah if you praise Allah with Arab language by force? Is it anywhere in the Quran? Please, I want to know.
No, I don't think you can find that specifically.
Wait, no, let him answer, please. Let him answer.
Chika, mute everybody, please. Mute everybody. Let us. Wait, it's too much.
I know there is a place in the Bible that said there will be a time that everybody will be worshiping God in one language.
That's Matthew verse 9.
The Quran did not authentify that. That is why they are asking the question.
Please.
No place in the Quran that says that.
I think you took that out of what you just said. Yes, you took that out of context. You see, when you say one language, it means in one accord. It doesn't specifically mean one spoken, one particular. Can she give us proof of that in the Bible?
That's what it says.
It doesn't mean. Please, sir, can I finish? It doesn't mean one lingua franca. It means, you see, the Bible was translated and mostly transliterated, and that is the problem of the Bible. Because in most cases it was transliterated so that you can understand what it was, so that it can sound the same way it sounded in the other book. You understand? And in that case, it loses its meaning, not that it was translated. So you see, the thing is that I still believe that the fact that I have to read the Bible in English or in Hebrew or in Koine Greek that it was written, or Jesus spoke Aramaic and all that is colonization. The fact that I have to read a Quran in Arabic or pray in Arabic, for me it is colonization, because I didn't need all this language to connect with my forefathers. I didn't need those languages to be able to relate with my forefathers. They understood my language.
Yeah.
They know my name. I know their name. I know who they are, and what they were called.
Exactly.
So I speak my language to my ancestors, and they understand. So now when you make me...
Prophet Lawa, it says Zephaniah 3:9.
Okay, I will open it and read it for you. Please, I will open it for you and read.
Let me come in here, please. Let me have the floor, please. You see, language is very important in one's life. That's one note. Secondly, Islam was not a Yoruba man nor English man. Jesus was not a Yoruba or an English man. I set an example to AY. Osun worshippers. Osun is in Osun, Nigeria here.
That's correct.
We have the white coming to worship Osun here.
Yes.
Are you telling me that the white use their language for Osun, not Yoruba language? Would Osun hear what they are saying?
Mr. Oster, please.
But that's I am telling you, of course. Look, if they would only a lot of Brazilians, for example, they speak Yoruba over there, so it's not a surprise that they will praise in Yoruba.
Osun is a Yoruba person.
Yes.
Muhammad is not a Yoruba man, he's an Arab man. If you want to worship his religion that God has given to him, you must use the Arabic word.
Just a very plain question, right?
Oh, look at Jesus.
Let me correct something.
I want to correct guys, can we?
Mr. Oster, right?
I'm just trying to.
We agree that Arabs, it might not be a very good argument to make that Muslims originated from Arab just because Arab speaks Arabic that the Quran was revealed in. It might not be a very decent argument, but here is the question I want to ask you now. Who were the first set of people to practice Islam? Who were the first set of people by tribe? Who were the first tribe?
The set of Noah.
Very good. Now, what does the word Islam? Forget the language. No. I'm not asking about the language Islam. Like the
submission to the will of God.
So what does Muslim mean?
Muslim means those that submitted their will to God.
Okay, Islam is total submission to the will of God, and
Those
Muslim
that
means.
practice Islam as though the people that submit their life to God.
So I, as a person, right? If I say that I submit my will to God, that automatically makes me a Muslim.
Thank you. On what account? No. On what account?
No. On the account that I submitted myself to God.
I want to complain with that. You see, the word Islam itself has pillars. If you say you are a Muslim, there is pillar for Islam as it is. That submission was surrounded by 5 things. If you want to submit to Allah, you have to have 5 things. Now, to believe in one God, to serve Salah in 5 times in a day, to pay your zakat, to fast for Ramadan, and to go for Hajj. That is Islam.
Now bring forth. Very good. Now bring forth any form of evidence that you have that Noah did these 5 things. Any form of evidence.
Thank you. God said in the Quran, I quoted the ayah before.
Don't make a secular argument, bro.
No.
What you're about to make now is what we call a secular argument. What you're about to make now is what we call a secular argument. You can't use what you.
I'm not here. When
It's just
Muhammad
like-
was alive. But what God tells me in the Quran was that one man practices Islam.
Okay.
Obi, you have Bible with you
He
there?
practiced that 5 things.
Obi, do you have Bible with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, write Joshua 7:6.
Joshua 7:6.
Yeah, just why you know that they were all Muslims. Joshua 7:6. And
Okay.
Abraham, Genesis 17:3.
Verse 3.
Genesis 7.
I
Moses, Exodus 34:8.
Exodus 34:8.
Yeah, Aaron, Numbers 16:22.
Number 16:32.
No, 22. Numbers 16:22.
Number 16:22. Okay.
Jesus, Matthew 26:39.
Those places are for what, Madam Chika?
No, they
No,
bow
she.
down and what they bow down. Look at them.
Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 4 to 6.
This was the argument that I put forth.
Bow down for what? I don't
This was the
understand.
argument that I put forth.
Good job, Obi.
Sorry.
Allah.
Bow down and worship God or Allah. Which one are you talking about?
Prophet, hold on.
Allah is not the creator.
And your Quran says they should do ablution. What they do is, they do ablution.
This was the argument that I put forth.
I'm going to read everything now so that you
Mrs.
can.
Lawa,
Before, guys, I think we've gone completely away from the main topic now. We've gone completely.
See, Pastor A.G. Lawal, because there's no other prophet in this life. There's no other prophet in this world. If you come back tomorrow, I will show you where Jesus worshiped.
No. Some people who went away, they will go away with this mentality that is true. Please, let's clear it now.
No, I cannot do it now because
Then why did you mention it? No. You don't supposed to have mentioned it. Because all these places, I can tell it to your face, to your ear, that they are not true. What you have quoted are not true.
Okay, can you, Prophet AG, can you explain? Okay, it's normal.
But my own question is that whether Jesus prayed like a Muslim or
right now, come back tomorrow. I will give you where he watches it.
Okay.
No. This was the argument that I put
Well,
forth, right? I heard all that. And the question I asked Mr. Usta was that, if I solely believe in one God as he defined Islam to be, or as he defined a Muslim to be, does that automatically qualify me to be a Muslim? He said,
you are
no,
going to believe in
there
5
are 5
things,
pillars
not
to
1.
these things. There are 5 pillars to these things, and you will have to qualify in all categories to be explicitly declared a Muslim or qualified to be a Muslim.
Guys, can I? We are moving away from the main discussion. We are moving away from the main discussion. Please, let's.
Now you should bring forth some form of evidence.
Come back tomorrow. I'm tired. Let me hear from Citizen AY.
Right, guys.
In the next 10 minutes, I should be
Yeah.
going.
Okay, guys, please. We're not here to, like I said, nobody is disputing Christianity, or certainly I'm not, or Islam and their ways. What we are saying is that we are trying to allow, ensure, and encourage the space for African spirituality to be respected. And one of the things that we want to address is to not allow Christians or Muslims, because I've seen a video now, just last year, a video was of a Muslim man using African spirituality to try and gain, to bring people to his religion. We need African spirituality to be respected. It is part of each and every African that I can see on this broadcast, and that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that. I am saying those pastors, those imams who are trying to co-opt and use African spirituality to gain followership, it is wrong. It is unacceptable. They shouldn't be doing it. When I talk about African spirituality, is our African ways of Oshun, Ifa, doing our Ifa. That is African spirituality.
I can add to that.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The thing is, they're doing it. But you can say that all you want, but they're doing it. Yeah, but they open the mosque.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Can I say something, guys? Can I say something? Okay.
That's the point I'm taking.
Uncle Stars, let me say something. I lived in Senegal for 13 years. My wife is Senegalese. My father-in-law and my sibling-in-laws, they are Senegalese. But the mother is Cameroonian, so they are Muslims and all that. My father-in-law is not Murid, he's not Salafist, he's this other one, Tijan, with Mustafa Anyas and all that. See how the ones who still believe in Baifal and all that. You understand? So I myself, I was born a Muslim, you know. So I know I am not just a greenhorn in this topic. Okay. Now, what if you go to Senegal? Forget the Christians and the Muslims. They still practice their spirituality like on a very high level.
Okay.
There was a video that was circulating recently on TikTok. Somebody put it. One guy who was digging stuff in his store and all that. A lot of people were talking. You say ignorantly. I went to the comment section. They don't even know where that video was from. They thought it was from Nigeria. So they were like bashing Muslims in Nigeria, blah blah blah. So I was like, if they have been to Senegal, if they know that video is from Senegal, then they would understand that is nothing. That is why you see the guy. He was even recording it and using it to make advert. You understand? Not for his religion as Islam, for his spirituality as an African. That he still has the power apart from being a Muslim. He still has that African spiritual power to attract people to your shop. So it is displayed like it is. When have you seen their wrestling? What they display in their wrestling is not Islam. It's not any religion. They display their spirituality. You see them wearing charms and hitting themselves and all that. That is what they display.
Okay.
So now, even for the fact that they are Muslims, but their spirituality is on display. Hoo-ha. So that is one thing.
Yeah, that's the problem because they dress like Muslims, they dress like Christians, and the people that will see them online and say, look at what Muslims are doing, you know.
But Nigerians go to Kaolack to go and see Ibrahim Ayans. Nigerians go to Kaolack. A lot of Nigerian Muslims every year.
It's not part of Islam.
Chika, please, I want to ask this question, please, everyone in the house. Is he Arab has their own God? Yoruba has their own God? Israel, is it everybody has their own? Is it only one God or everybody has his own God? I don't understand. Okay. Because if you want to worship God, you have to speak one. Wait. If you want to talk to your God, you have to speak one language. God understands every language that everybody is saying. Okay, let's not deceive ourselves. Okay, God has every language you are saying. Everybody don't have separate God. We serve only one God. In Yoruba land, in Arab land, in everywhere in the world. But we try to differentiate ourselves as if you don't speak in Yoruba, your God cannot answer. If you don't speak in Arab, your God cannot answer. If you don't speak in English,
that's not what we're saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that.
Citizen, let me quickly say this.
I'm not saying that.
You see, before the concept of monotheism came, even the Hebrews, the Jews, the Israelites, all those ancient civilizations, they believe
our civilization is ancient also. Yoruba is 130,000 years old. No, Yoruba is 130,000 years old. We are ancient. We are ancient.
Yes, I have heard about the ghost DNA.
Not ghost.
But let's moving forward. Yeah, you see, what I'm trying to say is that
we are not practicing in African spirituality. One Oba Daniel said, no matter how much you shout, Jesus is Lord today, tomorrow, and forever. Make sure you are not doing miracle and you are not slashing knife on the floor. Make sure you are not burning candle. Make sure you are not carrying water and salt. Then we don't have
Jesus. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know the Jesus. Anyways, so the thing is that now there was this concept of monolatry. Even the Hebrew Bible God, he told them in the book of Exodus, he said, you should not worship any other God before me. So which means that there is this belief, even with the Hebrew God, that there were other gods. He was not the only God. He believed there were other gods. But he was telling his people that you should not worship any of these other gods before me. So it was an issue of monolatry, when they know that there are so many other deities, there are so many other gods, but you should worship one particular God. Because even when Abraham was told to leave Haran, which is Iran today, to move all the way to Canaan, which is today Palestine, to dwell there, he met people there, and they had their own spirituality and their own belief system. When they were asking you what is spirituality means our own belief system.
Yep.
So they had their own belief system.
Yep.
Understand? And if we go back in time, that was the people who were still worshiping Baal and all that. So now there was this monolatry concept that yes, there's another God, but worship this God. Even when Prophet Muhammad, when he came, people were worshiping so many deities. You understand? That is why he even had to start the fight from Mecca. That was why he had to leave Mecca and move to Medina. That was why he even had to fight the Quraysh from Mecca in 1624.
I'm not arguing about any of this. I'm not, listen, please hear me out. I don't think people are understanding what I'm saying. I am saying I have no issues with Islam being a religion. I have no issues with Christianity being a religion. What I'm saying is that both Islam and Christianity have a problem with African spirituality being in existence. Okay. So that's, and I'm hoping that we can begin to, as Africans, embrace our spirituality, stand for that. Don't use any cover. Don't stand with the cover of I'm a Christian, but you are using spirituality. I'm a Islam. Stand.
Someone is asking in comment section, what is African spirituality? African spirituality
it's our belief. It's our belief system. It's our belief system.
That is it.
Oscar, hold on, no. Oscar, please give me 1 minute. Their belief system, they believe in carrying swords, carrying knife for prayer. They believe in buying their enemies. They believe in burning candle, dropping on their. They believe in all kinds of things, which they are doing in the name of Jesus.
Well,
Chikakaty, before Christianity, which African belief system? I don't know. Maybe some other place. Which African belief system were using candle? We didn't even have candles in the first place.
We didn't.
No,
before Christianity.
When I was growing up in Aba, there is this people. They wear white. They
My-
go to the riverside. They burn candle also.
Candle is not indigenous to us, Chikakaty. Candle is not indigenous to us.
No.
How old I am now? Hold on now. How old I am? They dance. Then in the midnight, that spirit will emerge from the water. Come down, bless them. They are doing well in business. They are doing well. Their children are doing well. And even academically.
There's nothing wrong with that, There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Why are they not
Yes.
under the
That's what Chikakaty is saying. That why can't they just come out
We should-
and say this is what we belong to instead of hiding on it. So that is the problem.
Okay,
You
can
see,
I?
when this foreign religion when they were forced on us,
Yes.
you understand, they were forced down our throats.
Exactly.
When they were forced on us, so a lot of people just tend to believe
Yeah.
that okay, yes, we believe Christianity, and a lot of people still didn't believe, and we know what happened.
Yeah.
Jesus power, superpower, Babalawo get power, police more than all these other religions. And then they bully us now.
Yeah.
They started.
They still have that Babalawo power, and they are singing Babalawo power, nonsense power. But it's the Babalawo power that they are using, and at the end of the day, they say in the name of Jesus.
Exactly, which is they know.
They are not calling Jesus, they are calling Caesars.
People started changing their names. Somebody I knew who was Igbinogun, now his name is Igbinu Josu. Someone who was Idahosa, Igbinofia, now it is Igbinosa. You see, so people started changing their own ancestral names to match with modern day religion.
No.
So this is how the whole thing started. And now
no. So what I'm saying is that I think for me, what I'd really like to say again, we need to create. I think as Africans, because our continent is suffering for our lack of connection to our ancestors and our African spirituality. In Brazil, for example, even though they were taken across to Brazil, some of them, they have even more powerful deities that they actually worship over there. Some of them, they had to hide it under Christianity. But now they are now showing that more and more in Brazil. We need to do the same thing because African continent, we are yes.
Bro, slaves in the Caribbean were still secretly
Yes.
Practicing Buddhism. They are ancestral.
Yes, that's what.
So
yes.
slave, even when they were still slaves, they still practiced it.
Yes, but what I mean is now we're now in a situation, we're in an age now where we need to actually stand up. That shows that the level of psychological damage when people are feeling afraid to stand up for Ifa, to stand up for Obatala, to stand up for their Edumari, for Eshu, and say this is who I am because of the colonization, and we need to rid ourselves of that. Because as I say to you, the religions of Christianity and Islam, and I'm going to say that again, what it has done is that it became, once you take that on board, everything that you did, your food, your clothes, your business would follow the line of the religion you're following. So in Africa, in Africa, where you had this thing of No, but some people, unfortunately, if you go and look in like I said, the church in Lagos State, in is it the Deeper Life or Redeemed Church? I mean, it's a hangar. 1 million people, standing up, going, Jesus Christ, praying like that. I mean, it's madness. That is enslavement of the mind, and that is why it is really important for us to address those things. Yeah, fine. Some people can be awake, but many are asleep. So that's what I really want to say. Listen, Chika, thank you so much for giving us the time to talk about this. It is something we are going to do. We'd like to come back and talk about this again, and I'll bring you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You are cute the way you dress. It's fine. You don't have to change that. It's good. You see,
No.
but you see, some time ago I talked about this, right? I was talking about this. You see, I just want to answer the people in the comment section. You see, the difference between spirituality and religion is that religion is organized. Religion is organized for a purpose, but spirituality is just you connecting to something that is higher than you, which is all around us. When you look at our spirituality, we were always connected to nature, things around us.
That's it.
So all our spirituality has to do with water, lightning, things that we were connected to nature, the way we lived, where we lived, and all that. But yes, but when we look at this religion today, why we call them religion and organized, because every religion, every organized religion has a political ideology, has a political agenda, and it is that part that colonizes.
That's correct.
The part of the ideology that is the problem. So that is why we say religion came for just one purpose: to colonize. When Osman Dan Fodio, when he started building caliphates in Nigeria,
in Sokoto, Kaduna.
Exactly. You see, Sokoto, the first, I think it was Sokoto Caliphate, the first one, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. What was the purpose? Now, when the caliphate was built, now we started to teach Islam, then people had to start learning Arabic, how to read and write in Arabic, how to pray in Arabic, and all that and all that. You see, so that is colonization. Yeah, my brother talked about vassalization. Yeah, I think this is not vassalization. This is colonization. So that is what we are talking about, because this actually eroded the traditional and indigenous belief system.
Absolutely.
So that is why you see we all started.
Nobody is forcing them.
Oh.
Like as I am, I discovered Islam through creating content. There are certain things Muslims are coming here to tell me to do that I'm not doing because I don't believe in them. Nobody is forcing people to do this. It's just that we have to start talking for people to have the mind of their own.
That's what this is exactly the point. That's it. It's to have a mind to stand up. Yeah. So I mean,
in the Quran, God said, "Don't leave your culture behind." Inside Quran, God said that, "Don't leave your culture behind." We have to. God has already given everybody his own culture.
Exactly.
You understand? We have to embrace our culture. That's it.
At last, now you know who is forcing you. Nobody will ever force me to do anything. Now you know who is forcing you. You said that an imam was sentenced to 5 months in prison in Ghana for praying the other way. We never heard that kind of story before. You are just saying it. You know, people come online, they come on my life, they lie. You understand? Nobody will force me to do anything.
No.
There are something, let me say something also. There are something Muslims are doing. Let me show you something. This early morning, I woke up this early morning. A Muslim wrote me, a Nigerian, from Nigeria, look at it. He wrote me this morning. He wrote me and he's giving me verse in Quran where about hijab. This morning, I had to battle this with him this morning before coming out. I told him, and I gave him another place in the Quran, Quran chapter 24 verse 60. I said, go and read it. Because as I did now, I don't pass the age of, I'm not looking for marriage. Nobody's coming to marry me. I read Quran. You understand? I'm not looking for anybody to marry me. So go and read it. This is somebody that has my number, and this early morning, he decided to communicate that I should be coming out here with hijab. See, at last, let me tell you something. If you are listening to the Islam I'm preaching here is the Islam of Quran. I don't shift an inch from Islam of Quran. So now you know people when they put people for prison if they pray in another way. I don't care about that. And that's not what I'm doing.
Shouldn't we find out if it is true before we just dismiss it? I've not heard about it, but as a journalist,
like this.
I would have loved to find out.
On my life to lie. They lie.
You know, somebody just said something. Can I just touch on? Somebody just said so-called African spirituality is idol worship and associating partners with God. Listen, when people go to, you've seen the Pope kiss the wall in Jerusalem. You've seen people go to Mecca and kiss the stone.
Get us video. We don't deal with hearsay on social media. Get us video of how they how Muslims sentence that man to prison for praying in another language.
But all I want to say, all I would just say is that please, as we speak right now, there are in the Catholic Church in the Vatican, there are 10,000 artifacts of African sculptures, spiritual sculptures, that they know they are of cultural significance and they are refusing to release it. It is part of who we are. It is part of what we need back on our land because they know it's of value. And this is why I'm saying we have to be valuing and we have to revisit how we view our culture. Our culture is rich. It is amazing. Our spirituality is rich and amazing. And others see that amazing quality and they take from it. And we have to embrace that. It needs to come back into our land to really grow Africa. Africa is in trouble. Like my sister Hadija said, Africa right now is not free. And if we are not spiritually awake, we cannot free ourselves. That is why I'm talking about this. And I'm hoping that we can grow from that basis. I thank you all so much. Chika, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Both the people on the comment section, we will merge again tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
Anybody that has my time,
Chika, thank you so much.
Anybody that has my time can come back tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I will try.
Thank you.
To call.
Bye, guys.
Thank you very much, Citizen AY.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
That
I
is
appreciate
what we are trying to do now.
Yeah.
Africans actually need to wake
Yeah,
up.
have a mind of your own.
That's correct.
Like I said, I started creating
Yeah.
Then I now started saying that I'm a Muslim because I love what I saw.
See, okay.
But no, God never born any Muslim. We will
That's it.
direct my life.
Exactly. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
The
That's it.
direction I have in my life will always come from Quran.
Yeah.
God never born that person.
No.
If that person disturb me on WhatsApp, I block the person.
That's it.
Disturb me on social media, I
You blocked it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Have a mind of your own.
That's it.
Open the Quran. Read for yourself. Don't come and tell me this and that. Because you're not reading, that's why you are being controlled. When you read Quran, there's a place that eye for an eye in Quran. I support that. But when you want to come and find me too, I will defend myself.
That's it. I think that's a natural law. Everybody has a right to defend themselves. It's a natural law.
I've never seen anything bad with Quran. It's the people that are not reading, that are sitting in one place in their hearts, that are trying to discourage people from that.
Okay.
And in Christianity, there are good Christians.
Yes.
There are good Christians also. You understand? But these African spiritualists that are using voodoo has joined them and spoiled it for them also.
Yeah.
Auntie Chika, before I quickly go down, let me say something. I think it is in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. There is something God was telling their people. If you have the Bible, you can read it if you have it. Do you have the Bible there?
2 Chronicles.
Yeah, 2 Chronicles 7:14, I think.
I can't read now, I'm tired.
Okay,
No.
let me see if I can remember. I say, if my people, that is God, who are called by my name, should humble themselves and pray, and turn from their wicked ways, and seek my face, I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. Now, that is a God talking to his people. And the Christian finds nothing wrong with that. And the Christian, they recite this scripture always. And that is the same thing we are doing. We are saying, if our own people, if they can turn from their wicked way, if they can seek the faces of their ancestors,
Thank
their
you.
gods, and come to bow before them,
That's it.
and embrace them, then their land will be healed.
That's correct. That's exactly the point.
We need what I need is good country because I see
Auntie Katy, in Benin City, there was fire in Oba Market. Then people were helping people to rescue their goods from the fire. As people were rescuing goods, some other people were stealing those goods. Now it was abhorrent, it was preposterous, and it was heinous. The whole pastors in Benin gathered and gave an ultimatum that whoever stole something, they should bring them back. If not, they are going to curse all of them with God and Holy Spirit. The ultimatum passed, nothing happened. Then there is one popular man called Bobizwa. He went and brought Ayilala. And they swore and gave them ultimatum. Auntie Katy, some people brought half Maggi.
Half Maggie. I beg, no beg, so. I know, me not by me, not by me.
Auntie Katy, this is true story. I'm telling you, true story. Auntie Katy, that red cloth for mango, we dare not climb that mango.
Exactly. So yeah.
Anyways, I think. I rest my case here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
I just wanted to add something because my network cut off.
Okay.
So I just want to add a little thing that Africans should pay attention to. Just like before I went down, what I was saying, when they bring everything for us to believe in, even our mummy water, our mummy water, they make it, paint it in white, so that we will believe in it. This is why everybody that is white, you are mummy water,
That's
you are
it.
this, you are that, they will be worshiping white creatures.
Exactly.
So we Africans, light skin, they say you are from the water.
Yeah.
You are mummy water. Because when they came, they know that mummy water is not white, so they bring it to us like that. Because they know that this was what Africans were worshiping, the god of the rivers, So we have to be careful of all of this, and we have to be aware. We have to wake up, This
Exactly.
is what we are saying at the beginning, Islam and religion came, but you have to take everything good,
That's it.
about it, because they are way of life. You know, you don't need to lay your life on things that are not necessary. We have to do things that are necessary for us Africans.
Exactly.
You know? We have to pay attention on our surrounding, on ourselves, on our neighbors, on the people. We have to just to live beautiful. Because I think the Quran that I believe in, this is what it is, you know. It's beautiful. So, I mean, thank you very much, Auntie Chika. Sorry, I went down because of my network.
Okay.
And I was preparing to pick my kids. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Inshallah, I'll come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bye now.
inshallah.
Bye. Take care. Bye bye now. Bye. Chika, thank you so much. Bye now. Bye. Bye. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, thank
See
you
you.
so
Bye.
much for the
Bye.
money gone too. Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that's all down.
Thank you.
So that was the end of the broadcast there. It's come to an end. I hope you found it interesting. We needed to really just touch on things, and that was very well done. I mean, I'm here speaking for African spirituality. So, sorry. So I'm speaking for African spirituality. It is something that we need to embrace. It's part of who we are, and I will continue to do so. And there are many others like me who believe in African spirituality, and we need to actually begin, because I believe that when we connect spiritually, what we conceive spiritually manifest in the physical. We need to build a better Africa, and that Africa needs us to connect with our ancestors in the ways that they said. Remember, I said the circle: our ancestors, our spiritual artifacts and sculptures, and of course us. So they now, the sculptures and the spiritual powerful sculptures, they are the conduit between the connection between us and our ancestors as Africans, and we need to embrace that. It is part of who we are. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Season AY in conjunction with Chikakaty. She had me on her show today, and it's a pleasure to be there. And of course, there are many different views. Like I said, I'm only interested in making sure that we create spaces on African continent for African spirituality to grow and to nurture us and nurture our soil. We are Africans. On the African soil, we need to do what Africa requires us to do for it to nurture and give us, blessings. And I believe that in honoring our ancestors who are Africans, that is where we should really go. I say that unashamedly, and I'm proud to say I am a Yoruba man who believes in Olodumare, Eshu, Odbatala, Yemoja, Shango, Oya, Ogun, and so on and so forth, and all of the deities that we have. And I believe in the days of our week. Today being the day of, let me see that day again. I think it's Ogun today. Is it Ogun today? Yes. I think today is the third day of the week in our Yoruba calendar. We have 4 days a week, and I will keep telling you, we are in the month of Oshuaga Irawe in Yoruba language. And I'm saying that because we need to become comfortable with using our own dates and our own culture and our own food. And there's nothing wrong in Christian Europeans practicing that and remembering and following their own days of the week. We must follow ours. And they coexist. The Chinese have their own calendar alongside the Gregorian calendar. We must have our own calendar, because that way it connects us, it centers us as Africans. Oja Batala, sorry. Am I correct? Whoa. Sorry, have I just done that? Let me just check that. Sorry about that. If I've got, what was the last one? Let me see. Oja. Let me just check that. I want to make sure I've got it right. 1 second. I'm just checking something here. I think it's correct. In fact, I know it is. I'm just trying to, I like to just check things out so I know where I am. Yeah, so today is the last day of the week. Sorry. I made that mistake again. Sorry. I need to change that back. So that's not that. I was wondering. That was a weird. No. Sorry. Properties. Let me change that back. I need to have that in the right manner. It is not. It is actually the first one. It should be Shangoja Kuta is the day. Sorry about that. I do like to check things to make sure I get it right. So the third day is the last day of the week in Yoruba calendar or Kojoda calendar. So yeah, I'm going to be back shortly anyway. I need to do an hour again. I'll probably do that in Yoruba on Oduduwa TV radio. In the meantime, I want to thank you all very much. It's been hectic. Thank you so much for joining. You've been listening to Season AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I was speaking with Chikakaty, who you see in there, doing the program. It was really worth doing, actually. Let me see if I can find anything to do with that. Oh, that's gone now. I think it is gone. Yeah. Okay. So that's me done. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna put you'll be seeing my the calendar. I think I'm actually gonna put that up now. I'm gonna talk about it more in depth, but I'm gonna show you the calendar that we have. I need you to see it because we need to begin to talk about our own calendar, and we have to empower ourselves. So this is what a calendar looks like. Today is the 3rd. We are in March, April. March, April, the 3rd day of March, April. 1, 2, 3. So we're trying to make sure that is correct. Make sure I got that right. Batala. No, okay, I need to change that around. I understand now. Yeah, that's correct. So we've done Ojo Ogun. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, in fact, as I'm talking to you now, I'm going to check that. I was rushing earlier on. So it would be, today is the 3rd, right? Yeah, today is the 3rd. Anyway, I'm going to check it and fix it if I need to do that. I'll check it and make sure it's correct. I won't do it live on, I'll check it and whatever, you will see it correct, and I'll talk about it. And it will take a time to make sure everything balances out. But remember, we have 4 days of the week, and it's important we keep those days and remember it. Listen, I'll be back later on. Thank you very much. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY. And thank you. Thank you to you all also. We are over 3,000 subscribers now on our YouTube channel, and we're grateful for that. We've been trying to get to that for some time now, for a few weeks here, and we finally got there. That's where we are. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to fix the calendar, and I'll be back later on. In the meantime, thank you for watching. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. And that's the calendar that we have, but I'm going to make sure I check those, make sure the dates and everything tallies in the way that I need it to be. And, it's all in the right place. Thank you very much. I'll be back later on. But like I said, we have 28 days in a month, and we have 13 months in the calendar. And that is very important for us to understand collectively. And that's what you see. So that's 6 and 6 there. That's 12. And then the 13th month is what you see here. So we're just going to try and check that, make sure it all tallies. In the meantime, thank you so very much. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, give us thumbs up. Thank you.